Hi, I'm Esteban, Niño Palacio. Most people call me Niño, and I'm the founder of Los Niños, a transformational coaching and wellness company. And today I have a little practice with you, 10-minute practice that can radically transform your life. And like some of the most powerful practices, it is ridiculously simple. Now, for example, meditation, when you hear about meditation, you go, I'm sorry, you're telling me that I sit and do nothing, and that's supposed to transform my relationship to everyone around me and improve my mental health? Yeah, sitting around and doing nothing can actually transform your life. Meditation has done that for me, and this practice is no different. It might sound very simple, it might feel a little uncomfortable, but just like meditation, it is such a powerful practice in radically transforming the relationship that we have with ourselves and in turn the world. Because ultimately, one of the number one things that I work with my clients and the world around me is helping people develop a better relationship with themselves. Because the world around us reflects the relationship we have with ourselves. When we have beliefs and limitations around how we give love to ourselves, those same beliefs and limitations end up manifesting in the relationships that we attract, in the blockages within our career. So doing this inner work is not only beneficial for ourselves, but it's also ultimately beneficial for our careers and the relationships we have with others. Now, as you may have noticed by now, I am sitting and I'm looking into a mirror, and this whole time I'm looking into my own eyes. So that's what you're going to need. That's one of the things that we're going to need for this practice is a mirror to sit or stand in front of, however you're comfortable. So make sure you have a mirror. If you don't, maybe this is the moment to pause this video, but you're also going to need a couple other things. You're going to need your phone, which is going to act as your timer, if you have a timer on there, or if you just have a physical one, that's awesome, and I love the analog. And secondly, you're going to need a journal. So grab all those things, a journal and pen, your phone or timer, and then a mirror. And meet me back here. All right, I'm gonna assume you've got all your things, and we're gonna get this party started. So we're gonna be doing our mirror work practice. We're gonna be here for just under 10 minutes. First thing we're gonna wanna do is write a few mantras that are really personal to us. So sit and consider this question. What beliefs or limitations have I held about myself that have prevented me from receiving more love? For example, I might write something like, I only believe that the perfect version of myself is deserving of all my love. And the version of myself that makes mistakes isn't deserving of my love. Now this is a limiting belief because clearly I'm an imperfect person. And being a human, that means that I'm constantly going to be feeling like I'm not enough because of this limiting belief. So I would ask you now to sit, maybe pause and consider what are some limiting beliefs that you've held that have prevented you from receiving love from others and or yourself. Now, this is the time to write some of these beliefs down in that journal. Once you have at least 2 or 3 in there, this is where we're going to then reframe these beliefs as personal mantras to affirm the opposite. So for example, if one of your beliefs sounded like mine, which was, I'm not deserving of love until I'm perfect, I would write a mantra like, you're not perfect and you never had to be. You are always loved. That's one of the reframes. So I invite you to go through each of those and reframe them. Now to be a positive and affirming statement that counters that limiting belief. So for example, if the limiting belief is, I'm not good enough, you might write, I am always worthy even in the process of my becoming. And if today there's no limiting belief or anything that's coming up to you, but you still want to be able to engage in this practice, an alternative that I might offer you is Ho'oponopono, which is a practice that I love that comes from native Hawaii. And it's often a relational practice that you might do with another person, but it's also super effective to do with yourself, especially doing this mirror work. And that involves looking into the eyes of someone else or yourself and saying, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." And then just resting in that stillness and repeating that time and time again. And this is going to be our practice. We're going to choose one of those mantras that we've written. And this is the moment to get nice and close to your mirror. Find your own gaze. And together we're going to begin with a few Ho'oponoponos, repeating after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Keep your gaze fixed into the eyes of the incredible and beautiful being in front of you. A being that deserves your compassion, your grace, your humility. And as you continue to look into the eyes of this beautiful being in the mirror in front of you today, I invite you to begin to bring to mind a version of them as a child. See if you can hone in on just that first version of them that comes up. Maybe it's at a specific age that resonates with a time in your life when things were a little different. And once again, I'm going to invite you to repeat after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Together, beginning to soften the breath in and out through the nose. Staying fixed with your gaze, looking into your own eyes. Noticing any discomfort or feelings and emotions that might be stirring inside of your body, and see if any time your mind tries to run into thoughts or identification, if you can return your attention towards the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, allowing your breath to serve as an anchor for your mirror practice today. And as you feel grounded into your awareness, into your body and breath, I'm going to invite you now to bring one of your own personal mantras that you wrote down earlier to mind now. You can grab it if you haven't memorized it. And whenever you're ready, you can begin to say this mantra. Maybe, if it feels okay, bringing to mind different parts of you at different stages of life. Maybe a version of you that really needed to hear this. Maybe a version of you that you're still working on forgiving, on sending this kind of love towards. continuing with your mantras. Staying in the gaze and just feeling without trying to solve anything. We are rewiring the mind with your own words, activating mirror neurons, rewiring the subconscious script of identity self by sending new conscious creative energy, words, spells. Maybe something else wants to be said. Maybe this is an opportunity to listen to a deeper part of you. Or maybe this is time for silence. Wherever you find yourself, I invite you to begin to send all the love that you have to this being in front of you today, into the eyes of your responsibility, of yourself. Wishing them the best, envisioning them, perhaps, on the happiest day of their life. What would that look like for them, for you? Steady with the breath. Always coming back to your own gaze. Landing here with one final breath in. And a soft sigh. You can return your gaze to normal. This practice can be done in a myriad of creative ways. That's coming to the mirror and giving yourself a little pep talk before a big speech or something at work or anything in your life, or whether that's finding moments of stillness and pause every day just to be with yourself, to really acknowledge that this is the being that you're responsible for. Or even in the darkness, when you lose sight of the worth that you have, you can come back to this person and send them the words that they need to hear. This is a seemingly simple practice, yet much like meditation, it's often the most simple things that radically transform our lives. Thank you for doing today's practice, and if you ever want to come back to it, it's here for you. Thank you, and hope you enjoy our podcast with Whole Human.